Pardon me for being a little late. I've been involved in editing this book of mine, and it's kind of like a meditation class. I just got lost in it. Does anyone have a question?
Hi, Stuart. This is Jan.
Yes, Ron?
Yesterday, you were talking about how you'd never seen anyone work so hard on themselves. And I'm wondering if you could talk about what it means to work hard on oneself.
Well, I can only talk from my own, life, Ron. And I can begin with when I was younger, a teenager in my early 20s, where I absolutely made a commitment to never work. I was going to be a gypsy poet traveling around the world, get a job here and there. And it almost killed me. It almost killed me. And when I met Rudy, I began to realize the importance of commitment, of being in class, you know, making extra efforts so the class can go on and working, finding ways of working that really forced me to go so deep inside myself that it is constantly opening new areas of consciousness inside me and never taking it for granted. I mean, even today, doing these classes, I do 24 classes a month here online. It's a lot of classes. But why do I do it? I need to go deep. Every class takes me a little deeper into myself, more open to higher consciousness, more open to a deeper commitment to a spiritual life. And I've been doing this now for 50 years, teaching in prisons, teaching in hospitals, universities, teaching 2 classes a day at ashrams, healing people. I mean, it's been endless. But that type of inner work, which I completely rejected when I was younger, that type of inner work. It forced me to grow on a level in myself that I never thought I could grow. It forced me to open to energy fields in the cosmos that I never thought I could tap. And the only person I'd ever met who did that kind of thing was Rudy. He was my example. I mean, I never walked into his store, his gallery, when he wasn't sitting there working on himself. And then I'd sit down with him and we'd have one meditation after the other. And he transmitted to me enormous levels of opening, of Shakti, of energy that took me deep inside myself. That's why I do what I do today, what I've been doing for 50 years now. You Starting ashrams all over the world, traveling to these places, working with people, it prison programs. I mean, those really made me grow. I have to deal with inmate mentality and work with people that are living in prisons was one of the most extraordinary things I've ever done in my life. It forced me to tap an energy field in myself that truly, you know, had to be deeply human. How did I get there? How did I learn all of this? It was taking all of this on my shoulders. Plus, running a business, I had a family, it was endless, endless. And what I discovered is when you work like that, you're never doing enough. And this might sound crazy, but there's always time for another thing. It's people that don't work that never have time for anything. There's always time for another student, another class, another this, something else, another ashram, another, you know, more business. There's always time for life. Writing, I've written, what, 13, 14 books in that period of time. Where did I find time to do all these things? It came from tapping a wealth of energy inside myself. That's what I mean. And I didn't know this until I met Rudy. And I saw the kind of depth he worked inside himself. And I said, Stuart, you got to learn this. This is what'll save your life. And this is what'll give you a remarkable life, not just saving your life, a remarkable. I mean, look, I'm not a young man anymore and I can't do what I used to do, but I still do more than a person should have to handle in any given week. So that's what I mean by it. I mean, Rudy used to come to Texas. I would say, Rudy, this is your ashram. I had no, they weren't my students. I this, that. Here, this is yours. I set up 4 or 5 ashrams for him around Texas, took him to a prison program. We were flying around Texas doing it. I said, it's all yours, Rudy. It's my level way of surrendering everything. And what came to me in return was amazing. The level of teaching, the profundity of what this work is all about is really amazing, you know? But you got to earn it. You have to earn it. It doesn't just come. Now, I know 3/4 of you probably run for the hills now, you know, but I'm just telling you this. So that's what I meant. I mean, Rudy sent me to Texas. I want you to go there for 3 weeks. It took 9 years for me to work out that karma of living in Texas. Starting ashrams and this and that and all the stuff I used to do. And same thing in New York City. I mean, when I lived in Woodstock, you know, I was traveling all over the world teaching and running a business. And I can tell you, I've been tired for 50 years now, but it doesn't stop the work because I know what this work does if you do it in depth. It's unbelievable what it brings to a human being. And then you got to surrender everything that comes to you. Rudy was wonderful for me. It's all yours, Rudy. Here are these people I found in prison. He used to love going to the prison, Rudy. And here are all these people that I found here. They're for you to teach. So you learn how to grow and do, but you don't possess anything. It's fantastic. So honestly, not only to Jan, but to all of you, that's what I'm talking about. And we have to do it anyway. If it's with family, if it's jobs that we have, work that we do, you have to give something to life to get something from life. Nobody's entitled. Does anyone else have a question? I know this is strong stuff and maybe I shouldn't even talk about it, but maybe I should, you know? I mean, it finally has to come out in the open.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Stuart, can you talk about how you know when you're about to go through big changes?
Oh, I don't have to talk about it, Derek. I guarantee you'll know.
Okay, thank you.
I have to talk about it. You'll know. First thing will happen is there's going to be enormous resistance. And then you're going to find a million reasons why you should run away. And you'll know you're going through changes. And human beings have a really difficult time changing. They really do. A lot of resistance. And and then, one second. And then, you understand? It's the power of the meditation and the inner work that enables you to overcome the resistance, to step into the void, to go from one level of your life to another level of your life. But when a cycle comes to an end, you'll know about it. And then, you in the cycle you're in, you build the strength to move on. And I once wrote a book called Moving On, Finding Happiness in a Changed World.
I have that.
A bunch of aphorisms, 200 aphorisms or something like that. Moving on, finding happiness in a change. We all change. Although people don't want, they have a lot of resistance to it. We change, whether we want to or not. I mean, there's nobody sitting here that looks like they looked when they were 7 years old. Everybody has changed. So the whole point of doing inner work is to be able to consciously change, to be able to move from one level in your life to another and embrace it consciously. Be grateful that you can do this. As I've said 100 times already, you never know what's going to happen in 10 minutes. You really don't. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask? Okay. Excuse me for being late today. God bless you all. I hope what I talked about today really finds a place inside all of you. And not only for the meditation, but for all the things you do in your life, you know, and do them consciously. So thank you. God bless you all. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in the next class. There'll be class on Thursday. Thank you. Bless
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. Ciao. Bye.